and heat, of course, added to the mix, but also going to watch the potential for some active thunderstorms too. There may be one limiting factor though to severe weather, and I'm going to show you that here coming up in just a moment. Let's get you started though with your traffic update. Interstate 80, we're taking a glance at that this morning for you. Fairly quiet, things moving along. We'll keep an eye on it as we always do. Outside, a couple of clouds in the backdrop there as we take a look to the Iowa side of the Mississippi River. That's where we are seeing a couple of showers, especially well north and west of the Quad Cities. 65 warm degrees as we kick off your Thursday. That's when you know it's going to get warm as we get into the afternoon, when we're already seeing this amount of warmth. It's another morning where it feels like kind of mid to late June, almost early July, if you will. We've got that southwest wind back in play. All of us in the 60s, with the exception of those of you up to the north towards Savannah and also Galena. Live Doppler radar tracking a couple of those showers, especially well north of Maquoketa to Savannah. And really, most of that is probably not reaching the ground. I'm going to widen the view out. You can see we've had a couple of thunderstorms here too, well north of Dubuque, some more into the Chicagoland region. Now, most of this activity is going to dissipate as we head through the next couple of hours. And then I think we just bake kind of in the sunshine as we go into the afternoon. So there you see hour by hour. By lunchtime, we're at 81. Actually, not a bad day to take lunch outside because the majority of that wind, that'll be cranking up after the lunch hours. We get closer to 2, 3 o'clock into the afternoon. Still watching a couple of red zones, severe storm zones, one of which is very pronounced as you head to Waterloo, points north of Des Moines into La Crosse, Wisconsin, expecting some big-time storm activity today. Some of this may try and slowly sink a little south very late tonight, early tomorrow morning. But I'm going to show you a future track because it's not all that exciting here in terms of what it thinks may happen with these storms. Now, the red zone will shift a little further southeast, so this hasn't changed from yesterday. Illinois hometown still at the risk for some isolated stronger storm activity tomorrow. But there's your cold front right on top of us at noon. And look at the future track radar. You're not seeing any big storms blow up, and that may be the case. It's a very what we call conditional threat tomorrow. Need a couple more ingredients to come together. One of the reasons why we may limit storms is because of the presence of what we call a cap. So when we have an uncapped atmosphere, you notice the temperature falls quickly as we go higher into the atmosphere. That allows that warm air to rise quite freely. But when we have a cap, your temperature does fall, at least briefly, but then it gets warmer. Notice we go from 60 to 70 here. So we've got a little warm layer of air aloft, and that keeps anything from rising. Once it hits that warm air, the cloud just simply collapses and it can't do anything. So that's likely what we're going to have tomorrow, and why the threat for any storms is going to be fairly questionable. We'll see what happens with that. For today, though, easily going to hit the upper 80s and close to 90. Feels like temperatures in the low 90s. Tonight, that active storm threat will be to the north of us. Will be very warm into the 70s. And then we'll see what happens with this front tomorrow. There you see it passing through by noon. Not a whole lot of fanfare with it, but need to keep an eye on it. We're going to have at least a couple of ingredients in play. We'll still keep a couple of showers for Saturday to kick off the weekend, but Sunday will be dry. That's the weekend's best. A couple more spring-like showers as temperatures hold steady near 70 next week.